Well, hello YouTubers. My name is Josh Snodgrass, and today I'm going to show you how to play the song Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing on the guitar as a solo fingerstyle piece. And over the last couple of months I've been getting quite a few requests from people asking me to share guitar tab or teaching how to play a song. And of course I've been busy, I've been touring, and then it's just hard to make the time to make a lesson. But now I can't tour right now, so I know many of you are stuck at home as well and can't work, and so I thought we've all got a little more time right now, or many of us do, so maybe it's a great time to learn a little bit about how to play fingerstyle guitar. About this song, one thing is I have tab over at my website, joshsnodgrass.com, and I'm going to include a link to that down below where you can download that, and that will really help you out with this. And probably give you a lot more information than I can give you over a video, but between the video and the tab, hopefully you should be able to figure it out pretty well. One thing about this song is that I use a drop D capo, and I actually use a drop D capo in a lot of my songs. And so this capo here is made by Kaiser, and it's got this little groove in the top where it leaves the top string open. So I put that right in the second fret of my guitar. And one thing that's nice about this drop D capo is the spring's a little bit lighter, so it doesn't push the strings out of tune, even though it's not pushing down that thick string. If you don't have a drop D capo, you can just put a standard, any spring-loaded capo. You can put it on the bottom like this, covering all but the top string, and that will get you through. However, I definitely recommend getting one of these guys here, because if you put this on, it just doesn't get in your way like it does when you turn a capo the other way. So I really like this. I use it all the time. And this does a few things for you. One thing is that when you play with the drop D capo, it allows you to play in the key of D, but you have that low note, which just sounds really, really cool. And you could go to drop D or something, but I find that messes up your G chord, and it just kind of, it's not as helpful to me, I find, as using the drop D capo. And another thing about it is that it allows you to use just some really cool harmonic stuff. And we will get into that later on in the video when I show you that part of the song. The thing is about these, you can't get them in stores. Generally, you have to order them, and so I've got a link below where you can order one on Amazon, or you might be able to find one on some of the other music site websites. But initially here, I'm just going to zoom in and start, and and one more thing to point out before we actually get into the song. I'm using what's called hybrid picking. So I am playing with a flat pick and then my fingers. And you can use this hybrid picking, or if you're used to playing with just your thumb and your fingers, you can do that. Or if you have a thumb pick, however you normally approach the guitar, I'd recommend trying it that way first on the song. But one nice thing about hybrid picking on this song is that the song has kind of some breaking arpeggios that lend themselves better to hybrid picking in relation to a couple of those other picking styles. So, all that said, let's just jump into this. Okay, for the intro of the song, I play a little thing I wrote that starts with the pointer finger up on the low E string on the 3rd fret above the capo. And then I use my 3rd finger down here on the G string on the 5th fret. And so I play like this. And then I slide up and then I do that again. So what I do is I play just kind of a little arpeggio there where I pinch the third string and the top string there, and actually I run up the arpeggio with the pick, and then I pick the bottom one with my 3rd finger, and then I do this little pull off, and then after the pull off, I just kind of run up the chord, and then I change position. So I go put my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the top string, and my pointer finger down here on the 2nd fret of on the G string, and then I do the same picking pattern, except that time it's a hammer-on instead of pull-off. And then I just do all that again. And then I go, and so then I kind of change the C position here where it's, I put my pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then my 3rd finger goes down here on the G string on the 5th fret, like it was, same position it was to start with. And so that's the same melody, it's just that now we've got a C in the bass. And so after that line, I just do that once. Then I go back to this G in the bass with the pointer finger in the 2nd fret of the G string. Okay, so that is the whole intro. So the verse and chorus of this song have a lot of kind of rolling arpeggios where I kind of play it differently every time, depending on, I guess, I don't know how I'm feeling at that time, but the main thing is if you play the chord, you know, the bass note and the melody, and then, you know, those kind of in-between notes in the chords, they're not so important, you know, the order of them, the order that they fall in. You know, if you just mainly focus on the melody and the bass notes, and then everything else, all those in-between notes, you know, they can kind of change, and that's okay, as long as you get that melody especially right. So let's get into it here. To start, I play the G and B strings open in a pinch with the G in the bass. And so it goes like this, and this is the word come and come thou found. And then I just do this little pull off there on the 2nd fret of the G string. And that is the 2 middle strings open, so it goes. And then, with still in that G shape, I play the G and B string open, like that. And then I go to this D, and so here's the first time we hit this open D note. So we get that, you know, that full, beautiful bass note that comes from having the drop D capo there. And then to the C. And then I put my pinky down. So that first note of the C is the 2 bottom strings. I've just got that standard C shape. Oops. So that second line is the same as the first, largely. Sometimes, like I said, I play some of those little notes in between a little bit differently, but the tab, though, gives a real good picture of what I typically do with those in-between notes. So after the second line, after I kind of do this little arpeggio on the G chord, I go down to this shape where I've got the, so it's pointer finger on the 2nd fret, and the middle finger on the 2nd fret down here on the G string. So I do a little pinch there and then roll up. And then the melody goes, and this is the Teach Me Some Melodious Sonnet. So we get just on the bottom E string. And so this little part goes. And so this is one interesting thing here, is because we've got this drop D capo on, our normal E minor chord, it doesn't have a bass that works. So what we're doing here is I'm playing the E of this little E minor chord here on the 2nd fret of the D string. And then the melody's down here, that's the G on the high E string. And so then we just kind of, and then we go down, and then it's the C shape, and the melody's in the high E there to start with. And then it goes to that 3rd fret on the B string. And then it's the G chord, but the melody's in that high E, so it's kind of this G6 thing. So this is open, 3, open on the B string, and that's on the B there. and then back down to that D/F sharp shape, and then the same thing. And then that is the word above. Actually, the note's going to be up there. That's the high note. That's that high G there, and that's the highest note in the melody on this song. So, all right, and then we need to do the last line of this first verse is the same as the first two, where we go. Right, well, we've made it to the transition in this song. So this is transitioning from the first kind of verse where we're playing standard fingerstyle to the second verse, which is going to be all natural harmonics. And this little transition is actually my favorite part of this song. So, and it's kind of a mixture of harmonics and fretted notes, which I just think sounds so cool. One of the big tricks to these harmonics is really letting them ring out. You know, they just got to kind of resonate and ring out and not get muted accidentally by your fingers and stuff. And that's going to apply even more so as we get into the last verse here with this natural harmonic section. I start with it's kind of like the C shape, but it's just you use your middle finger on the 3rd fret of the A string and pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. And then I go, so I play those 3 in a row. And then these up here are harmonics up on the 5th fret, so I use my pinky way up there. And I slide up. And so it's the same shape up here on 5 and 4 with the 2 fingers. And now the pinky's playing on the 7th fret. And then I go up to kind of this E minor shape up here where I've got the, it's 7 and 5 on the A and D string. And the same thing. Except this time the pinky's not stretched out, it's just down here staying on the 7th fret. So, and that time, if you can kind of see here, I kind of alternate the melody notes in the harmonic there. So it starts on the B string, and it goes down to the G, and then up to the E string, and then just do that again. And usually actually I'll play a little. And then I just let that ring the second time. So the second time that's kind of an abbreviated. Alright, and then we start the natural harmonic section. So one tip with these is quickly release. So you got to kind of pick hard and then release quickly. If you keep your finger on there, it mutes it very quickly. So you got to pick and release. And also you want these to ring out as much as possible. The more of these that are ringing at a time, the more full it sounds. So because some of these notes are in the 5th fret, where it's not, the notes don't ring out as well down here. They're not as loud, and so a lot of times I'll kind of hold back a little on the 12th fret because these notes are naturally much louder. That way, when I get to the notes down on the 5th fret, they don't sound like they're quieter and not as good. So 12th fret on the B and G strings here, a pinch, and then that's on the D string on the 7th fret above the capo, and then that's the 2 middle strings. And then back up to the G and B, and that's the 5th fret in the D string. And then this is the hardest part of this section here, is that, so what I do is I play the 3rd fret on the low E string, and then the 7th fret on the D string. And it gives you that cool sound there. And then the second one, I just play the lower, I just play the 7th fret. So it's kind of like, whoops. And then back to the B and the G string here with the, And so when I get up to that note, that is, I'm skipping a note there between, so I'm playing the 12th fret on the E string and the G string. And that gives you kind of an E minor harmony there. So let me play that all together. And again, the tab will really help you here. So we do that line again. So it's going to be and then we need to do the part where this is the third line of this hymn that's got the different melody. And this is going to start with a on these low strings, so it's going to be 12, 7, 5 on the bottom 3 strings. You kind of go and that one I play the 2 middle strings on the 5th fret, and then this is 2 strings again where I've got that harmony on the 7th fret. I'll do that again. Oops. And then it's the same thing again, except a different ending note. So I end with those 2 middle strings on the 5th fret. And then we have to play that first line again. Alright, so that's going to keep you busy probably for a little bit. It's a lot of work to work through all that. But so I'm going to play this song all together so you can just have the context of it. And here we go. Starting with the intro. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning to play this song. It's just a beautiful song, and I hope it's something you can play for your church and bless a lot of people with. I do have this CD that's called Hymns from an Old Country Church, and it is available on my website, and I'll put a link to that in the description below down there. But this has this song and then some of my other favorite old hymns. And I'm intending to do more videos like this, teaching some of the songs that I play. And so if there's a song, like a hymn that you'd love to learn, or another worship song you'd like to learn, and you just would like me to do a video for that, please leave it in the comments below. Also, make sure you like and subscribe so you can be informed when I have other videos coming out. So thank you so much. God bless you. Stay safe.